We get it. Wedding planning can be stressful, and today we want to share with you 10 mistakes to avoid when planning your wedding. Hey everyone, my name is Emmaus Vanderbilt with Silver Fox Productions, and we know that planning a wedding can be strenuous with booking vendors, making a guest list, buying a dress, and all the other million small details needed to pull off the biggest day of your life. Now there are plenty of things that can go right, and there are also plenty of things that can go wrong. And after surveying countless brides, I want to go over the top 10 mistakes to avoid when planning your wedding. Now, if you haven't already, be sure to follow us on Instagram at silverfoxproductions_US and subscribe to our YouTube channel to see other amazing videos like this one. To start us off, the first one is not having a budget. Whether it is $5,000 or $100,000, and yes, we have seen both before, it is essential to know your budget and how you plan to stay within it. Remember, you are not just paying for a pretty dress and some food. Countless small details will be demanding your attention and your money as the wedding day comes closer, and you need to know how much money you are working with to understand what you will need to say no to. Now I get it, it feels like an accounting class back from school, and it sort of kills the vibe and emotions of planning a wedding, but you would much rather know what your budget is now compared to paying off a wedding loan 5 years into your marriage. Mistake number 2 is being too vague with your photographer. Yes, wedding photographers are professionals and many of them have shot over 100 weddings, but every wedding is different. There will be different family members, different details, speeches, etc. And if you don't give your photographer any direction or specifics, they may miss some important shots and it will just cause unnecessary tension and stress between the two of you. Now we recommend setting up a phone call or even meeting with them in person before the wedding day to make sure that everyone is on the same page. Number 3 is related to number 2, and it is skipping out on a wedding videographer. Now, even if you decide to not book with our team, we still recommend hiring a videographer to capture your entire day from start to finish. Now, we won't go too in depth on this one because we have another video going over why you need a wedding videographer, and you can check that one out in the description below. Number 4 is not a fun one to talk about, and it is neglecting to make a rain plan. Now, we've all heard the saying, it's good luck if it rains on your wedding day. And the truth is, that's just a saying that someone came up with to cheer a bride up on her rainy wedding day. No couple wants it to rain on their wedding day, but it is wise to come up with a rain plan just in case it was to happen. You would hate to wake up on your wedding day and find out it's raining and have absolutely no idea what you're going to do with all the decorations, people, catering, etc. So don't stress too much about this one, but be sure to at least put in some thought about what a good backup plan may be. Number 5 is hiring a friend instead of a professional. I know we discussed budgeting in mistake number 1, but there are just some things that you cannot go cheap on, like your photographer or videographer. So a friend's mom may have a camera from 10 years ago and she will offer to do it for free, but is it really worth it at the expense of potentially not having the wedding photos you've always dreamed of since you were a little girl? In my opinion, it is not. We have seen friends and family pull off decorating, floral designs, and even catering, and that turned out just fine. But when it comes to the technical side of having a DJ, photographer, or videographer, it is always best to go with a professional who knows what they are doing so you can get the best results. Number 6 is purchasing your dress too late. Most brides start searching for their wedding dress 9 months before the wedding day, and this gives them time for sizing, alterations, and any other important factors. But it's also wise to know your venue first before you purchase your wedding dress, because you want your dress to match the look and style of where you are getting married. And finally, one more tip I've heard from brides when trying on dresses is to make sure that you sit down in the dress at the store before purchasing it. You would hate to be uncomfortable on your big day because you overlooked what it would feel like when sitting down in it. Now, I'm not a wedding dress expert by any means, but we linked an article in the description below that may help some more if you have any further questions about this topic. But mistake number 7 is forgetting the legal bits. This is also a really boring one, but it's very necessary because you won't be legally married without taking these steps. I can't speak for what is required for each state, so check with your local government and see what is required with paperwork and fees to make sure that you can officially be married. Because as much fun as dress shopping, venue searching, and honeymoon planning is, none of it will matter if you aren't legally married. Number 8 is ignoring the hidden cost. This also ties into number 7 because there will still be some legal fees and things you have to pay for, but we also recommend setting aside at least $1,000 to $2,000 for random costs, such as anything from batteries for any decor lighting all the way to tips for your vendors. Now, you don't want to be stressed the week approaching your wedding day and having all these random costs come up and you have to borrow money or go over budget to make ends meet. So make sure that you set aside some money for any miscellaneous expenses that may occur. Number 9 is inviting too many people. The average cost per person at a wedding ranges between $30 to $150. So multiply that times 50, 100, 200, or even 300, and you have a pretty hefty bill to pay. Now, I'm not saying go cheap and only invite your 15 closest friends, but honestly think about who you want to ask and why you want them to be there. Don't just settle and invite all of your mom's Facebook friends and all your Instagram followers to make people think you are popular by having a large wedding, but put some thought into why you want these people there and see how it can fit within your budget. Aside from a financial standpoint, the more people you have at the wedding, the more stressed you'll be thinking you will have to please everyone. And finally, number 10 is the largest mistake out of all of them, and it is forgetting what is most important. If the DJ breaks a speaker during the first dance, if the florist forgets half the flowers, the suits don't fit perfectly, or whatever else may happen, remember why you are getting married. It's not just for looks or even just for a fun day, but it's because you are coming together in the presence of God to marry your best friend. Now, of course, you want everything to look beautiful, but at the end of the day, what matters most is that you're getting married. And don't lose sight of that in all of the planning. So thank you all for watching our 10 mistakes to avoid when planning your wedding. I hope this video was useful and can show you some of the things to avoid so that your wedding can go as smoothly as possible. Now, if you don't have a wedding videographer or photographer yet, our team would love to serve you, as we have captured hundreds of weddings throughout the United States and shoot on the highest end equipment in the industry to bring you the highest quality results possible. If you'd like to learn more, you can click the link in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and God bless.